Hey, it's Drybear. If you've made the best choice to play Druid in Season 1 of Diablo 4, then today I've got you covered with a full leveling guide going over all of the abilities, the skill tree, and the step-by-step progression that will get you from making your character all the way until dinging level 100 and clearing all content. But first, you should come hang out with me on my live stream. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/Drybear. If you don't come hang out with me in the community, the next time you are getting ready in the morning, you're going to put toothpaste on your brush or your razor without realizing that you're not actually brushing your teeth. Okay, so down below in the description and in the comments, I have a link to my Druid Season 1 Leveling Route 1 sheet, which has everything on one image. This image is actually quite large, so you can zoom in. You can see that one monitor size is this first half, and then one monitor size is the bottom half. I know the text is kind of small, but it's just because I needed to fit everything in one spot, and you can zoom in, and hopefully it's high enough resolution where everything can be read quite easily. So you can see that all of that is there for you. So I wanted everything in one spot for if you're playing Druid or you're really trying to put all this together, this is my recommendation. So in the bottom left of this, you're going to see the skill build order. I'm not going to go through this now. It is my recommendation for leveling. We are going to be unlocking a brand new legendary aspect that just got added for Druid. It comes in the first chapter of the seasonal journey, and I recommend it. It's super cool. It makes the active ability of your poison creeper spawn a giant blooming onion landslide everywhere. And so that makes a very fun leveling build. It means you can run earth for leveling with landslide and doing a dual element. And I think this is a super fun leveling build that'll get you all the way up there. On the top here, I have on the right side and on the top side is going to be the your spirit boons as well as your full build. So you're looking for what abilities you're going to be using for this. And then I also have target stats for all of your items. Stats don't matter too much. It's more about getting the most armor and attack power that you can while leveling. And you want to use yellows for everything except for your accessories. But if you get the chance, like you get 2 drops that are similar and one has different stats, these are the stats I would recommend aiming for if you get the chance. While you're leveling, you can just look for one stat. You don't have to look at anything else. It doesn't have to be multiple good stats. Just if it has one on it, these are the ones that I'd recommend picking up. Keep in mind that you use jewelry for legendary powers. You want to raise your sheet attack power and armor right next to your character. Focus on high power yellow and rares, and that's plenty fine enough. And if you need more loot, you can do strongholds and whispers for lots of yellow drops to kind of fill in the gaps that you desperately need. Then we have a step-by-step progression progress here, all the way from making your character, everything you need to do, everything I recommend doing, and how to get everything set up for your character, all the way until hitting level 100 and being ready to go. And then for the key moments that are go to this place, I've marked them on the map here, so you can see that when you get to step 9, you know that this is where you're going to be going to finish that up. So if you get lost or you haven't revealed your map yet, you will be able to do that. Keep in mind that this progress is designed for having completed the campaign. So if you've played in Eternal and you finished the campaign, then this is going to be for skipping the campaign. If you haven't and you're making a brand new character, just run the campaign as your seasonal progress. You have to anyways. Just finish the campaign, blow through it or enjoy it, have fun with it. And you'll end up anywhere from level 35 to 45 when you finish. Then you can just pick up on this list where you leave off. So if you hit level 45, you can start at step number 26 here. Just look for this and you'll have that set up. Wherever you are, you can pick up and just keep going after that, continuing your season journey. So step 1, make a new character and start with World Tier 1. You can actually start World Tier 2 if you want, if you have tons of renown points, because it does make you a lot stronger. But for this first part, World Tier 1 is plenty fine. Make your character, skip the campaign, make sure it's seasonal, log in, spend all your points. If you have extra skill points from the renown that carries over, fill up this. You might be level 1, but you'll have extra points for this. So just kind of move down this list order just on that there. Then while leveling, keep an eye out for yellow or rare rings and amulets with good stats for imprinting later. By level 25 to 27, we're going to go back to the occultist and we're going to imprint the 3 leveling legendaries that we want. We will have those available in our codex by the time we reach that point. But just as you're going along, keep an eye out. You're hunting for the next 25 levels. You're hunting for yellow rings and yellow amulet that have decent stats that you might be looking for. Movement speed is great on amulets. Any damage, like physical damage, is good on amulet. And then you want crit damage or vuln on rings, but you can also run max life if you want to as well. While you're leveling as well, salvage all gear at the blacksmith. We will need about 40 to 50 veiled crystals by the time we hit level 25. So you want to be salvaging everything to get to that point so that you don't have any stopping points along the way. Now it's time to start leveling. Head to Lost Archives in Fractured Peaks and complete it fully one time. We need credit for the dungeon completion. So you will spawn, if you skip campaign, here in Kyovashad, right up here, right under the number 29. Lost Archives is down here, number 5. So it's this section here is where you will see this. Like, this is the one you spawn in. You can hover over it and it'll give you the region. But even if this isn't revealed for you, just come right down here. Go into Lost Archives. It's minimum level 1. You can jump right in. It has great density, a good layout. You can clear it quickly, and it gives you tons of XP. A couple things to note about this. First, clear Lost Archives. You're gonna have to pick up 2 keystones, bring them in, put them on the pedestals. When you do that, a boss will spawn. Kill the boss and complete the dungeon one time. It'll give you the codex power and it'll give you credit for it. We need to complete 3 Fractured Peak dungeons to progress our seasonal journey. So we're going to do that here. So we want to do that, complete it one time. And then once you're done with it, clear it and reset it. And you can do this a couple ways. Bring up your remote menu, go to leave dungeon, and then you can either leave game and rejoin, or you can try to see if the reset dungeon button works. It has some inconsistencies if you're playing solo, but in a group, reset dungeon seems to work really well. So you can run that and get that done. Then you want to just keep rejoining it and clearing it. Once you've cleared it the first time, don't kill the boss. Just go to either the far right or either the far left of the dungeon. Pick up the keystone, because when you're holding the keystone on your back, you have movement speed bonus. So just have it on your back. Use that movement speed to clear the rest of the dungeon up to the boss. And don't worry about the other keystone. Just log out, reset. If you're going to log out, make sure you zone out of the dungeon first, then leave game, then come back so you don't get reset to town. And then you just go back in, clear it again. You're good to go. Keep doing that until you hit level 10, which honestly isn't very long. If you're really gaming, it can be 10, 15 minutes. If you're kind of just going through and killing and you're listening to music or watching something, it may be 30 minutes to 45 minutes or maybe even a little longer, but you'll burn through it very, very fast. You'll be dinging like crazy. Once you're done with that, head back to Kyovashad, complete the blacksmith quest and the alchemist quest, and then upgrade your potion because you're level 10. Craft the iron barm elixirs for XP bonus. You will need a little bit of herbs, so while you're leveling, while you're running down to Lost Archives, pick up any herbs that you find, and then you want to keep an elixir active going forward because it gives you a 5% XP bonus. Now we want to finish the first part of our seasonal journey by getting 2 more Fractured Peaks dungeons done. So we're going to go to Hollowed Ossuary in Fractured Peaks. That is going to be straight east of the Kyovashad. So if you're in Kyovashad, if you press T and go back to town, you just have to head out and go over here a little bit to number 8. That is where the Hollowed Ossuary is. Walk right in. It's just on the cliffside. You go in, you finish that dungeon, and make sure you complete it. Not only will it give you credit for completing the dungeon, but it also will give you a codex power. Then we want to head to number 9, Caldera Gate, one of the fastest dungeons, one of the shortest dungeons in Fractured Peaks. It blows by so fast. It's a short dungeon. Good XP as well, good density. So you want to complete Caldera Gate. That's going to be number 9. So if we're looking at, again, Kyovashad, you want to go northwest up here to number 9. This little outlet here is where it's going to be. Head in, clear it, and you'll get the codex power. And then you'll also have done 3 Fractured Peak dungeons, which is one of the requirements for your seasonal journey. Then once you've got that, you want to leave game, set difficulty to World Tier 2, because we're done with World Tier 1, and then come back into the game. While you're going over the next few steps, you want to work on finishing Chapter 1 of your seasonal journey, because we want the codex power that it gives us for Druid from that part. You have 9 options of the objectives you need to complete, and you only have to do 7 of them. You've already done like 3 of them. You get 1 for completing any dungeon in the world. You get 1 for completing 3 Fractured Peaks dungeons. You can complete a cellar, salvage 10 pieces of gear, complete an event, buy a whispering key from the Purveyor of Curiosities. All of these will get done, but just as you go about the next few steps, finish your Chapter 1 of Season 1 to unlock that codex power, because we will need it. Now we're going to go unlock the codex powers that we need that we're going to imprint. So head to Stockades in Skosglen. It's just north of Fractured Peaks. So we're going to go up here to Stockades, which is number 12. It's just north of the Emerald Chase. So if Fractured Peaks is here, we can just go right up I think you get this, the Caragard set up here right away, so you can teleport if you've leveled before, and you skip the campaigns, just go straight out of town, go straight up to number 12, go in, complete the stockades that will be there for you. Right after the stockades, we want to go to Seaside Descent. It is on the far west side of the Dry Steppes. So it's over here if you're in the Dry Steppes, so we can look at this area here. This is Fractured Peaks. This is Scosland up here. Far to the west is Seaside Descent. So it's this little inlet, this little like reptar dinosaur mouth looking thing right here. Go into that and clear it. The XP in Seaside Descent is really bad. The density is really bad, but you got to muscle through it. Just blow through it, get it done, get the aspect. Now we're going to have the Crash Stone aspect, which gives us earth damage, Retaliation aspect, which gives us more damage, and then we're going to have the Seasonal Journey aspect, which adds landslide to our Poison Creeper. We like it. We're going to be cooking with gas at that point. Then once you hit level 15, which you should around the time you finish Seaside Descent, be level 15 or just past it, be sure to start collecting all spirit boons. Once your druid hits level 15, you will start dropping spirit boons on the ground when you kill any monster. It'll be a white item, a collectible. We need a bunch of these to get our passive, so be collecting these as you go along. Run the Tree of Whispers bounties until level 17. Skip mobs and events that are not tied to a Grim Favor. If you're speedrunning, you want to just do Whispers and nothing else. Run past mobs, skip obol events that aren't part of the Tree of Whispers. So if it's just orange and it doesn't have a Whisper icon on it, skip it. Just do Whispers. That's it. Turn them in, run again, and keep doing that over and over again. Then we're going to go clear Malnock, Onyx Watchtower, and then we're going to go over and finish. So it is going to be, Malnock is going to be number 16 in Fractured Peaks. So we're going to come over here. It's right next to the Hollowed Ossuary that we went to before. This is the stronghold here. This is a very high density, good XP stronghold. You can run it a couple times if you want, or you can just finish it, ring the bell, get the XP bonus, get the renown, and then you'll be done. Then right after Malnock, we're going to go through to Onyx Watchtower, one of the best strongholds in the entire game. We're going to finish this up, get some XP there, and be done. And then since we're kind of coming over from Fractured Peaks, we're going to go through Dry Steppes. Then we want to go up to Turdulra. This is where you will finish your Druid quest. However, this route is optimized so that you hit level 15 well before going there. The reason we do this is because you want to be collecting those drops that we just talked about, the spirit boons, enough so that when you finish the Druid quest, you can unlock a bunch of stats right away, because if you go straight there at level 15, you won't have any spirit boons. You won't be able to unlock your passive at all. So then do Turdulra over here on the west side of Scosland. Complete the whole thing, and then right after you finish, your Druid quest will be right here waiting for you. Just run that, do what it tells you. It'll take you all the way out here to like Firebreak. You got to talk to some to a goat or an elk and do some crazy things. And then once you're done with that, complete the class quest, unlock spirit boons, and you by now should have about 75 to 100 spirit boon offerings, and it's enough to unlock a couple powers. Unlock Pack Leader, which will reset your Poison Creeper on Lucky Hit Chance. This one's awesome with the new legendary that we got. And get Prickle Skin. Thorns just helps us leveling because we're always being attacked all the time. In general, work towards unlocking Avian Wrath, which is the Eagle power. So if you go up here to the stats here, this first one is Prickle Skin. This will be, for Wolf, it'll be the reset for your companions. You want this. Then you want the last two, but the last one's the most important. This gives you crit damage and a large amount of it, which feels really good with this build because we'll be critting like crazy all the time. So work towards that. If you don't have enough spirit boons, you can come back later. Just know that it's there and then unlock all those. And then when you unlock enough spirit boons, you'll be able to unlock the Serpent, which will give you Obsidian Slam, which makes your earth skills overpower. Then bond with the Eagle to get 2 and unlock Swooping Attacks, which gives you attack speed, which will primarily benefit the feel of the gameplay, but also being able to use your Storm Strike more and more. Then after that, run Tree of Whispers bounties until level 27. Again, skip mobs and events that are not part of it. Only do the Whispers and do them quickly. Then the next step is going to be Port to Town once we're level 27. Unlock the Occultist, imprint Retaliation and Subterranean on yellow rings, which you'll have from the Seasonal Journey and the dungeons we already did. And then put Crash Stone on yellow amulet. Then you'll have your 3 powers. You'll be cooking with gas. You'll just want to be, using your Storm Strike to get a spirit. Spend with Landslide. It'll do ridiculous damage. And then use your Poison Creeper and your ultimate Petrify to get more stacks, to get everything to crit. It's super fun to play now. which is pretty decent. Then run Tree of Whispers bounties until level 32. Head to Stronghold Core Dragon in Fracture Peaks. Complete and ring the bell. That's going to be up here on the north side of Fracture Peaks, just north of Kyovashad for number 24. That is where Core Dragon is. So finish that off. Then once you're done with that, go to Temple of Rot in Dry Steppes, which is the most XP dense stronghold in the entire game. It's just south here of Onyx Watchtower, the one we already did, number 25. You can run it a bunch and reset it if you want. It has good drops and good XP, or you can do it once, complete it for the renown and the big chunk of XP you get at the end, and then we're on our way. Run Tree of Whispers until level 45 to 50, or whenever you feel comfortable running the tier 3 capstone dungeon. Update your equipment. Use all the obols you've been getting from Whispers to roll gear that's outdated. Get all your yellow gear for your armor and your weapons updated. Go to the blacksmith, upgrade your weapons to at least level 3. It's pretty cheap to do so. And then go clear the capstone dungeon in Kyovashad. So if you go to Kyovashad, just north here in the keep, there's going to be a capstone dungeon just here, right after the bridge, number 29. Complete that. That'll unlock World Tier 3. Once you're done with that, you're going to have everything ready to go. Leave game, set to World Tier 3, or use the statue in Kyovashad. Come back in, and you're ready to start Endgame. At this point, start working towards your Endgame build, whatever it is. You don't need to follow the leveling guide anymore. Your Endgame build can take over, and you can go with that. And then start working on replacing your gear with Sacred Gear. Immediately, right into World Tier 3, go do a full Tree of Whispers for the cache in World Tier 3. This will give you your first Nightmare Dungeon sigil. Complete a few Nightmare Dungeons, or complete one that's level 3 or above. That will unlock sigil crafting at the Occultist, and you'll be good to start crafting sigils whenever you want. While you're leveling, complete Legion events. They're very XP dense. Hell Tides will give you resources that you desperately need for rerolling and enchanting and crafting, and do world bosses as well. You always want to do at least one of each world boss before the reset every Thursday, so that you can get the most benefit from those world bosses. Run Nightmare Dungeon sigils, because they are the best source of XP from World Tier 3 and onward, and you also need them to get your unlocks and your levels for your glyphs. You can use the sheet that I have, my master list XP, for the best dungeons for Season 1. They're all marked on that sheet as well. Then run Nightmare Dungeons and overall events until you hit to about 65 to 70. Upgrade your weapons to level 5. Complete the capstone dungeon for World Tier 4. Leave game, set to World Tier 4. Come back in and start working on your ancestral gear. And now you're working to perfect your gear, re-roll, get everything ancestral, and finish your build. And then just run Nightmare Dungeons and overworld events until you hit level 100. Nightmare Dungeons are super dense, high XP. Overworld is very useful as well, and that will get you all the way there. So this is my step-by-step route for Druid, from creating your character all the way until finishing the game, with a skill build order every step along the way on the map and recommendations for everything. So hopefully this one sheet is helpful for you if you're starting Druid this season and you're getting into Diablo 4. Have fun, enjoy the season, and of course, if you found value in the video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and I'll see you guys on my live stream. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.